Dope ass dude podcast. Transparent conversation. Real life stories. Hustling grind, transparent conversation. Real life stories. Hustling grind.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy, the dope ass dude, and thank you so much for joining in on the podcast on tonight. I am really excited about being here with you guys on tonight, and I see we have Marquita already in the comments. Hey, I'm walking and I'm gonna listen. I love that. Thank you for being on. And hey, hope you out there staying cool in this Texas heat. So thank you for being on here. What's going on, my friend? All the way, I think she's in the UK. Drop your location. I think you're over in Europe. But thank you for, oh, wait a minute. You are in South Africa. That's what's going on. Thank you for tuning in tonight. I am so happy to have you here with me. And hey, tonight is going to be really good. And then I see we also have Eric out here. Let's go, Eric. What's going on, man? Let's get it going. So you guys already know the preliminary things. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, if you don't mind going ahead and subscribing to the YouTube channel. And while you're there, click on notifications so that you can be notified each and every time a new podcast is uploaded to the site. And then while you're there, go ahead and click on like so it can be shared with others just like you. And if you're unable to catch the podcast on Mondays, you can always catch the podcast on the go at Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Again, that's Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And then you can always watch the podcast live each and every Monday on Facebook, LinkedIn, X, and YouTube, or you can catch the replay, but you can always catch it live, Facebook, LinkedIn, X, and YouTube. And then lastly, if you are not following me on Instagram and TikTok, if you don't mind going ahead and following me on Instagram and TikTok, I would greatly appreciate it. I can be found at both on both platforms at the Dope Ass Dude Podcast. So again, that's on Instagram and TikTok. You can follow me on both platforms at the Dope Ass Dude Podcast. So tonight is going to be a little bit different than what we are accustomed to doing here on the podcast. And I'm really excited for the format in which we're going to do. Tonight, I'm going to post a link in the chat. And this chat, what can happen is I'm going to post a couple of topics in regards to dating because we want everyone to be a participant in this conversation on tonight. And if you are comfortable with coming on screen, all you have to do is click on that link. I will add you in. Only thing I ask is that when you come on, you have proper lighting so we can see you. If your background is black, I'm probably not going to add you on. So if you don't mind, if you can go ahead, make sure that you're properly lit in there, then we can get you on and hear your thoughts, because tonight we are going to be talking about seriously dating in a hookup world. Many of you know, and I'm not an expert or a relationship life coach or anything like that. That is not my claim to fame, but I am a dater. I'm single. I'm out here in these streets trying to date just like many of you. And one thing I have learned and I'm noticing is that, there's a lot of games. And there's a lot of pee in the dating pool. It is like infected and contaminated with so many different daters. And from what I can understand in conversation with many of you, and then the comments that you post on the post, because I post a lot of things on TikTok on my personal page, a lot of the comments I get back, many of you, both male and female, are experiencing some of the same things that I am experiencing. So what the whole goal tonight is to have a conversation. And I want you guys to be a part of that conversation. And I want to hear your experiences with dating, not just mine. So, what is going to happen? Like I said, I'm going to share the link. I'm going to share. Let me go ahead and put that on there now so you all can have that. So, I'm going to share the link. I just shared it in the comments. There it goes right there. So, the link is when I put the topic up on the screen, if you guys don't mind, if you feel comfortable coming on screen, just click on that link and it's going to, I'll see you down there and then we'll bring you on live and you can share your thoughts and everything about these different topics that we're going to be talking about. But let's go ahead and get started. So how many of you in the chat, because there are several of you already in the chat, how many of you are in the chat are currently dating? You're out on the dating scene. How many of you are currently dating these days? Like, put it on in here. Let's see how many of you are single and everything. So we'll wait around for you guys on that. But seriously dating in a hookup world, and that, like I said, that is something that I am hearing that is really kind of like a serious topic and a serious thing because many people are saying, hey, just be upfront with your intentions. If you are just wanting to hook up, just say that up front. And I think back in the day, men would fear whether or not a lady would be interested in just, hooking up. So we would put on these facades and go through this whole representative thing, showing up for the first 2 or 3 months, and then our first 2 or 3 weeks nowadays. And then after that, we move on to the next. So let's see who out here that is single here. So we got, okay. Nathan said trying to date. Okay, trying to date. Okay. Kenny said dating. I love it. I love it. My friend from South Africa says she is single 3 years. Caregiver. I think she's pretty much saying she's dating. And Eric says single, not seriously dating. Okay. Eric, I definitely want you to click on that link because I want to know what not seriously dating means, and let's bring you on here. But the first topic I'm going to put on the screen, and like I said, if this is something you guys feel comfortable with talking about, just hop on. Let's go. So let's talk about it. How do you define dating versus hooking up in today's culture? How do you define dating versus hooking up in today's culture? And I think that's like a pretty good question to kick off, because one thing I have learned and I've noticed from a lot of my buddies, what they do is they hook up with women, yet instead they date the women. And what I mean by dating the women is not like, okay, I call you up, I have this need, so I want you to come over, let's satisfy each other, and then we don't see each other until the next time. No, what they're doing is they're having sex with them, and then not only are they having sex with them, they're taking them out every weekend, or they're hanging out with them, or if they having problems, they're there to help the lady out. And I think that can be kind of confusing. That's a little bit confusing. I think that's confusion. So how would you guys out there, how would you define dating versus hooking up in today's society? Drop your comments in there and let's see what you guys put in there. How do you define dating versus hooking up? Let's hear what you got to say. So Marquita said, me. Oh, you talking about single dating, not dating your spouse? Yeah, single dating. I was about to say, Marquita, I know you married. You married to one of my brothers. So yeah, I know you married there. So how do you guys define dating out there? Dating versus hooking up. What is your definition of dating and what is your definition of hooking up? Drop a comment and let's put it out there. Let's see what we got. Okay. Dating is discovery with direction. I love that. Dating is discovery with direction. I love that. I love that. Okay. Then we got, I think dating is exclusive and serious. Hooking up may be win options. Okay. Then Kenny came back and said, hooking up says, I enjoy with you provide right now. I enjoy what you provide right now. Yeah. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. So what else? Anybody else have a comment out here? Okay, caregiving came. The lines are blurred between dating and hooking up. Dating is being intentional about getting to know someone. Hooking up is just that, mostly sex. Okay. I agree with all of that. And let's go back to Kenny's because I love that. Dating is discovery with direction. And I think what kind of separates dating from hooking up is communication. And I think where a lot of us go wrong is we hook up with people. And when we hook up with people, secretly inside, we have intentions of dating these people. And we think that if we hook up with them, eventually they're going to see us how we want to be seen. And that is where the confusion comes in. That is where the hurt feelings come in. That is where the anger come in and the frustration because you're not being true to you. If someone has communicated to you, all they want to do is, or like Eric said, dating, but not seriously dating. If you're dating and you're seriously dating, Eric, because he said that's his intention, someone like him may not be the perfect person to because he's clearly stating he's not seriously dating. Okay, Eric came and he says dating is actively pursuing an individual with true intentions. Hooking up is just a temporary connection. Okay. Okay. So let me ask anybody, and let me ask you guys out here, and this may be a personal question. You may not feel comfortable sharing it. Have you ever gone into a situation and they were pretty much trying to hook up, or have you been the one who wanted to hook up and then this person wanted to date? Has that ever happened to you? Oh, and I see we got somebody here. Okay. Let's see here. Let's add them. Eric, what's going on, man?
What's up, buddy? What's up?
What's up? What's up? So let's talk about this dating. But let's before we go there, let's talk about dating, but not seriously dating. What does that mean?
So, dating is when you could either be dating one individual or you can be dating several people. Um, Nothing, no commitment, no, no pursuit, none of that. It's just, hey, we go out, we like each other, we like how we make each other feel. We like what we do, together. Whether it's fun, whether it's intimate, whether it's just going out to grab a bite to eat. But then when you are serious, you know, there's commitment, connection, and actual pursuit of that person. And you're all in. You have feelings when you're seriously dating. To whereas if you're just out, hooking up, that's exactly what you guys do. You know,
Okay.
whether it's go to a comedy show, you can go to a comedy show. Um, do your little thing. Hey, at the end of the night, if y'all decide to be intimate, y'all be intimate. If y'all decide to go y'all separate way, you go your separate way.
But can that going on dates, can that be misleading in a casual, just sexual situation? Do you believe that can be misleading? Eric, I think you may be stuck there.
Yeah.
Okay, we can hear you,
All
but
right.
we
We have.
can't see you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So repeat the question again.
So do you think that that can be confusing, dating
Absolutely.
or hook? Okay.
Absolutely. It can be confusing because you know one person can get more involved feeling wise than the other person, and you're showing this individual that time, that space that you guys share together, and then whether it be the male, whether it be the female, they start getting emotionally connected in a hookup situation. So yes, that it can be confusing.
Yeah,
And
so okay.
go
Go ahead.
ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So you have to be intentional with your conversation. Hey, this is what this is. I'm not looking for anything serious, or I am looking for, something serious, because things can get confusing very, very quickly, especially if you're going over to a person's house, spending a lot of time with them. In one person's mind, it's a hookup. In another person's mind, we're in a full-fledged relationship. So yes, it can be confusing.
Okay, so let me ask you this question because this is something that I hear all the time. I hear, so we're going to say a woman and a guy, and the woman is the one that, and not making women submissive or the weaker person in the situation, but a woman wants to be in the relationship and then the man is just casually dating. Should the man, if he notices that the woman is catching feelings, should he pull away to avoid hurting her, or is it her responsibility to identify that in him and know, hey, this is not the person for me?
I think I think it's both of their responsibility, but more so the man will navigate it continually the way that it is without saying anything. But the woman needs to step up and say, hey, I'm catching feelings, I'm starting to like you, where is this going? And then y'all have a conversation about it.
Okay, so stay right there, Eric. I see we have a young lady in the background, so we're going to add her on so we can give both perspectives. What's going
What's
on?
up? How are
We
you?
finally meet. We
We
finally meet.
finally meet. Yeah. Good to see
What
you. Good to see
you
you.
too?
Nice to meet you, Eric.
So Eric, let me ask. So let me ask you, Kayshante. So is it? So what is your definition of dating, and what is your definition of hooking up?
So like I stated, I honestly believe that dating is dating with discovery. I think that there is the hope to discover, are we compatible? Do we have things in common? Are we working toward the same things? Hooking up is just access with no intentions. Um, and sometimes I think what happens, and a lot of what Eric may be describing, is that men and women both confuse access with intimacy, and the two are not the same. And because you have access to me doesn't mean, and I think you're right, Eric, when you say that a lot of times women will catch feelings and we don't say anything, and men will continue to operate in that space, because they enjoy it. We enjoy your company. We enjoy you being present. And I feel like that's why I asked the question in the chat. Do you explain that from the beginning, that you are dating but not with any intentions? You're dating because I think that when someone tells you who they are, believe them. And I think if you tell them from the front, hey, you know what I'm saying, I enjoy being with you, I enjoy hanging out with you, or I want to get to know you, or whatever, I don't want nothing, then a lot of women have a lot more respect for the fact that you've left me with my options. See, the problem come in at when you be playing in people's face. You know what I'm saying? You go into this and you start saying, you know what I'm saying, you go into this and you start pretending that you want the same things that they want, and you desire, and people will, we start talking to each other, we be telling each other, everything, and it sounds good, and people will tend to flow with that, and men believe that because women say I want to be in a relationship, or I want to be committed, or I want to be, that they think that they're not casual. So I'm not saying that the problem is casual sex. I'm saying it's careless intimacy. And that's what we're doing. Like, we be careless with our levels of intimacy. And if you're not clear in the beginning, people go, I've met plenty of people that when I recognize, when you tell me who you are, I believe you. And so I leave my feelings at home. They can't live here, so I don't bring them with me. But when you don't tell them that, hey, don't get your feelings involved, this isn't, was when you start telling them the things that they want to hear, or you saying the things that sound good in the conversation, then of course they've brought their feelings in with them, and then their feelings are looking for a place to live, and they're not residing. They're not realizing that your place ain't their residency, and you ain't trying to make it that. You know what I'm saying? But they don't get that. So I think that that's where the biggest confusion comes in. It is that people are not honest from the very beginning. If you say from the very beginning, hey, or not even say from the very beginning, because you may go into it and realize, I like hanging out with you, I like being with you, but I don't see a future with you. And instead of saying that, we fail to even say that, because we feel like people will, I'll miss the invitation, or I'll miss the opportunity, or I'll miss the access that I once had. And so because I've told you that I don't see a future in you, then I back off. But I know a lot of women that it may just be, oh, okay, you don't want to, okay, cool. And they know my feelings can't live here, so I don't bring them over. And that's it.
And I love how you said my feelings don't live here anymore. And also I love the fear of missing out, because I learned a new acronym today. Gen Zers called that FOMO, FOMO.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, FOMO, fear of missing out.
Fear of missing out.
And many do go along with it after the other person has clearly outlined their intentions. We still go on because we fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Let me unmute Eric here. So Eric, do you have anything to say on what she just said?
I totally agree on what she says. And, for a man, when we, start going out with somebody that we like the access to, we like the sex, but we don't like the structure, So we like access to the fun, to the intimacy, to the going hanging out, but then the structure of the commitment, the obligation and all of that, we keep all of that separate. That's how we are. We're wired. We compartmentalize everything. So if it's just sex, that's what it is. But when you get with a person and you start showing them that good time and they like it, and you spending money on them, then they're doing that. I mean, that's what some people do. But at the end of the day, I like it, but I don't like it with you. So.
But that's a hard pill for the other person, whether it is a female or male, to grasp, to say that I like it, I just don't like it with you. That's a hard pill. That's kind of hard to swallow. So, okay, so Kenya and Eric, y'all done shedding some light here on us tonight. So we had some comments come in. With age, we need to be clear from the meat on the lines are clear. Yeah, I agree. Communication is key. Going with the flow, can't cut it. I 100% agree. And then Kenya, someone gave you some props. Kate Shante is nailing it. And then we have, I agree, women are emotional beings and men are more physical. We need to be clear. Yeah.
So what happens when you're clear and somebody still deviates off the path? Hey, this is what it is. We just having fun. We do this. But then, the woman says, well, what do you think about us getting married? I don't think about it. Don't get mad at me for being honest. Like Shantae say, leave your feelings at home.
But I think, listen, Eric, so that sounds good. That sounds good theoretically. It does. It sounds good theoretically. But I think what the problem is that before you become sexually intertwined with somebody, you might want to find out how their mind is wired. And I'm telling you, we start thinking that casual is cool, and you don't recognize, you know what I'm saying, because you haven't had time to have those conversations with them, you haven't spent any time. I'm one of them people that I sincerely believe that before I sleep with you, I need to know something about how your mind works. Because the reality is, I'm not trying to have a good Saturday night with you, but wake up on Tuesday to a boiling rabbit on my stove. And people believe all the time that because we're in our 50s, that everybody has matured. Shoot, crazy gives senior citizen discounts too. Yeah, I'm gonna give people crazy. And so I think that when you start, you think you hooking up, you know what I'm saying? And then you get hooked. Once somebody get hooked on being hurt, and you mess around and you got a real live fatal attraction. But it's because we haven't had the conversations enough to say this is why I say that chemistry and compatibility are two different things. And chemistry is just that. Chemistry is matter versus matter. It's science. And science will mess around and have you around here thinking that you have aligned with somebody, and because you haven't had the conversation to say, what do you want? And I think that if you spend enough time around them before you have sex with them, it's quick to tell. Women will we tell off on ourselves, unfortunately, because you'll say, okay, I'm good with going with the flow. I'm good with it. But then after you done hung out 2 or 3 times, then she trying to cook dinner for you and she trying to come. That's somebody that want to be your woman. And when you see that, you have to be the first one to say, hey, slow down. This ain't what I want. Stop them. And a lot of men won't stop us. They'll let us do that because they appreciate the access. And then that's where they end up flipping out. They go crazy because now I'm doing all these things for you. And most of us confuse that just because he enjoys it doesn't mean he's changed his mind. And this is why I tell myself as a single woman, I tell my friends, when he tells you what he wants, believe him. Because nothing about what you're doing is going to make him change his mind. I don't care if you swing from the chandelier. If he don't want that, he's not going to start wanting it because you started doing it. It's no. So I think that we have to be able to be strong enough. I wish that more men were strong enough to be able to walk away from situations of good sex that they don't have good intentions. And that's where the problem comes, because when you have good sex with a person, you'll act bad. You know you'll act bad. You know you will. And so and we don't walk away from those situations when we know we should. And I think that that's the part. I wish more women understood not to put themselves in positions that allow them to be hurt. And I wish more men understood to walk away from good sex. It's somebody else that might be better. But if you know you don't have good intentions, walk away.
And I think that's where both parties use they get into their excuses and they blame the other person, because a man will say, well, I was clear with my intentions from the beginning. I said, this is not something I want. She signed up for it, even though he sees that she's catching feelings for him. He will, like you said, still use the access and say, well, I told her from the beginning, this is what I want. And then she'll be saying, well, he should have said that if he didn't want me, he should have told me that once he saw I started giving him wifey benefits and we weren't that. So yeah, that's where it becomes really messy. Eric, what you got to say?
Yes, I agree that men need to have that conversation. Shantae made a statement. If you have to understand how a person's mind is wired. A man's mind is wired compartmentalized. So we put everything in a compartment, and whatever we need, we go to the lawnmower box, use the lawnmower, put it back in the box. We go to the remote control box, get that remote control, put it back in the box. We go to the hookup girl box, get it, use it, put it back in the box. But a woman's mind is like a spool of wire, and just take like a bunch of rubber bands, just round it together, and everything is touching. Everything is touching. All the points are touching, and she can't separate any of that. And if you start giving her something over there, even though you told her it wasn't what it was over here, she's going to start getting emotionally connected. And she started cooking a meal. Hey, if she cook a meal, trust and believe, I'ma eat it. So I like a good meal. She can cook. Hey, she cooking because she want a husband. I'm eating because I'm hungry. Not that I just want to be be here every day. Man, it's a good meal over here. She got some good macaroni and cheese. And she got some good sweet potato pie at the end of the night. So, hey, man, we're going to eat and we're going to have a good time.
Okay, so I'm going to take y'all out because we got this. This is really good. This is a good kickoff. So I'm going to say this here too. Kenya, this may be your first encounter with Eric, but I'll say he's gone to somebody's brotherhood Bible study, because this brother is like completely a new person tonight. Like I'll be wanting to cuss him out every time he comes on this podcast. So The Lord has found him. He's answering pretty good.
Don't hold back because of me now, Eric. Because now I'm from the
I'm not
South.
holding
I
back.
get bad. I get bad, player.
Okay.
You
Hey.
ever around? I get bad. But I be. This is the thing, though. I think that what most people need to understand in that is I take pleasure in your level of honesty, because a lot of men wouldn't say that. A lot of men will pretend, and they're not going to tell you, women are wired this way, men are wired this way. But I think that if you know, and all women ain't wired with all that stuff that touch. Just so you know, some of us can disconnect. I am the world's best Scorpio, and when I say the world's best, I am loyal until I realize that, oh, this ain't for me. Oh, I disappear. Like I've had plenty of them. Like, Kenya, you just disappeared. Show did. I ain't see nothing. I kept going. I moved on. But I think that those are the conversations that in the fun you need to have. And I think that when you have them, if you have them with the right person, I'm still a hopeless romantic, and I still believe that you can start out that way and you can have the right conversations with a person and realize, you know what, this is fun, but outside of this being fun, this is also meaningful. And it's when you get to that point that it is, oh, wait a minute, you get me. And it's all right, because it's all right, because I'm not saying that casual sex is a bad thing. I'm saying we grown. And I think that as adults, most of us have raised our children. We are empty nesters. We are living our best lives. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not anti-sex, but what I am is anti-stupidity. And some of us are being sexually stupid. And I think that's where they lose me, because I'd be like, hey, we can have a good time, but if I know that my intentions are greater and you've shown me that yours are not, say, player, these cookies come at a cost. what we doing here? You know what I'm saying? After a while, you start to think that, you be like, what we doing here? Like, I don't, and I think that that's the part that people don't, those are the conversations that people don't want to have. They don't want to, and people call them difficult. I don't call that difficult conversation. I call them grown people.
Grown people.
Grown people don't have one night stands. Grown people have good sex and keep doing it. I'm just saying. So I think that if you have those kind of good conversations, it'll lead you, and it's hard. It's, I think, easier when you realize, you know what, I've had a lot of people that I've enjoyed hanging out with, and in this single life, I enjoy, and then I realized, hey, you know what, you good, but my peace ain't worth this. You started to disrupt my peace, player. Let me go on about my business, because this is not. People think that you need to have a promise before you have sex. I don't need no promise, but I damn well need some information. And when I get some information, then I'm good. Like, your body can survive a one night stand. Your peace cannot. And so I think when you start to trade off one for the other, that's where, yeah, you lose me. So I'm different like that, though.
I love that. I love that. So I'm gonna take you guys out, and if Kenya, if you want to come back in on this next one, Eric, fix your screen so we can see your face, man, while you out. But if you want to come back, just raise your hand, Kenya, and I'll see you and I'll bring you back in. This was awesome. Okay, guys, dang, that was like smoking hot. That was really, 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 really good. So, okay, so let's go to the next topic here. So, and I see you guys have put some things in here. Spiritual ties right there. Yep, spiritual ties. I agree. And then my friend from South Africa, she said, if the setup is that we're just having fun, if the other person is not for that, then let them go. Don't string them along. Communication. I 100% agree. I 100% agree on that. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and let's go to the next thing here. So that was really, 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 really good. So let me find one that's really good. Okay. That was really good. Okay. Let me see here, because I want to get a good one. I have a lot of stuff on here. Okay, so this is definitely one that I want to hear their perspective on. How do you know if you're moving too fast or they're moving too slow? And I think, and pretty much that is pretty much saying, how do you know if you're catching feelings for them a little bit quicker than they are that for you? And when do you like, how do you back off on that? So how do you know if you're moving too fast or they're moving too slow for you? So drop your comments in there, y'all, and let's hear what you got to say. How do you know if someone is moving too fast or if you're moving too fast and they're moving too slow? How do you know that when you're dating? Drop your comments down there and let's see what you got. And let me drop that link in there again. So if anybody want to come on, you can come on. So that's the link. If you want to come on, you just saw Eric and Kenya on the screen. If you want to come on, just come on. But the question is, how do you know if you're moving too fast or they're moving too slow? Eric, let's bring you on out. I see you back there. Well, no, Eric ain't back there. So we're going to take him out. So how do you know if you're moving too fast or they're moving too slow? And I think we've all been in that situation. At least I know that I've been in this situation. You gain feelings for someone and you're really interested in them and you're ready to take it to the next level and they're not. So you're left there feeling it's an awkward place. It's an awkward place because you're hoping that they're going to eventually catch up with you. And sometimes they may not. They may not catch up with you. So in those events, you have some tough decisions to ask yourself. And that could be that maybe they are just casually dating, like Eric said earlier, and you're seriously dating, and the two of you just aren't in alignment at this phase of your life. So it could be that. So, okay, so I don't see any comments out there. So I'm assuming that that means you guys don't have anything to say on that. So let me ask you guys this here. Has hookup culture made it harder to find meaningful relationships? Drop a comment. Has hookup culture made it harder to find meaningful relationships? Okay, Kenya, she came back. She said he should initiate the honest conversation and she should reciprocate understanding. I love that. I love that. And just a little history on me and Kenya. Kenya and I, we follow each other on TikTok. We follow each other on TikTok. And we've been talking about collabing for a minute now. And tonight seems like it's the night. And I'm happy that tonight is the night. So let's see. Yes, it's all surface level these days. Okay. Yeah. So let me ask you this here, caregiver, and I think that's Tiffany. Yeah, that's Tiffany. So Tiffany, how do you navigate through that? How do you navigate through it all being surface level? Have you given up on dating or are you still out there giving it a shot to see if maybe you find that person that is in alignment with you? So let's bring Eric on out. Eric, I see you still back there. Let's bring you on out here. Eric, what's going on, man?
What's up, man?
What's going on? So the question is, has hookup culture made it harder to find meaningful relationships? What do you think?
Yeah, hookup can be a challenging avenue to pursue. You get with a person, you like them, and then a lot of times as a man, we're paralyzed from where it is in the beginning. You know, if this is what it is, I have a lot of friends that have dated women for years and years and years, 5, 10 years. And the woman is asking, I don't.
Eric, you're going in and out.
All right. Let me try to fix it.
No, we can hear you now. We can hear you now.
Okay. All right. So I know I have a lot of friends that dated women for a long time. I got a buddy right now and dated this young lady. They broke up. She reached back out to him and then he fell right back in the trap. and they're go out, whatever, and she's constantly asking the same thing. Well, what do you think about us getting married? He told her from day one, we're not getting married. You know, now she still holds on to that. To him, it's just a hookup, but she wants more. I told her, man, look, it's going to be a continual cycle, between the two of y'all. You know, you don't want nothing. She wants something. She don't want to let you go. When she goes out and dates other people, she has to kiss a lot of frogs because she's trying to compare everything that she comes in contact with what she has in him. And they'll never amount to where he is, and he'll never settle to marrying her. So, hookups can be very, very challenging. They can be very, very challenging.
Okay. So do you think hookups make it in the world today because we all have such access to hooking up? Do you think, that makes it harder to find a connection with people because we go in with the mindset this is a hookup?
Yeah, this is just a hookup, and there have been a few situations that I know somebody hooked up with somebody, and then they wind up, being in a full-fledged relationship. I haven't heard a lot of them. I'm quite sure there are, a substantial amount of them out there. But when you go in there, I know with me, if I go in on a hookup situation, that's where my mind is going to stay, right there on a hookup. And to move from that is probably never going to happen.
So you've never gone into a situation where it was a hookup in the beginning and she like rubbed off on you and you fell for her? You've never gone in and changed your mind ever?
No, 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 never, never, never.
Okay. Is there a reason why?
But once my because once my, when my mind is made up of this is what it is, then that's where my mind is going to stay. It's not going to change. I don't care. What the logistics of it is, how good it is. This is what we do. We have fun. We hang out. We go out to eat. We go to movies, whatever. And that's what it is. That's what it'll always be in the back of my mind. It'll never move from there.
Okay. So Kenya said, I think no, hookup culture has made meaning. Can you give us a little bit more concept on that? A little bit more insight on that and let us know what you're talking about. And if you want to come back on, you're welcome to come on. And then Kenya also said meaningful relationships less suitable. Yeah, give us a little bit more on that too. Wait a minute. Oh, wait, you got some more here. So let me look at this here. He needs to move on and stop circling. Okay, she's confused and he's helping diminish her understanding. I agree with that. And again, it goes back to that situation. If he sees that she is catching feelings for him or wanting more, like care for her enough, just have enough human empathy and compassion for people to say, hey, we're not in alignment with this here, so you might need to move on. Yep. And then we have sad thing is even married ones do hookups. It's just a mess. If you find that special single one, yeah, who's genuine, respectful, and focused on building she or he is a catch. I agree with you on that 100%. And then C Flo said, I believe him. So Eric, you got a believer out there. Okay. And Kenya came back with some more. Every time he sleeps with her, he continues to confuse her. And after a while, she will spiral. And that's on Jesus sandals. Yeah, I agree with you. Eric, what do you have to say about what Kenya just said about that every time he sleeps with her?
Well, it's not my it's not my responsibility to control your feelings. You know, it's my responsibility to convey to you what my intentions are. If you misinterpret my intentions, then that has nothing to do, in my personal opinion, that has nothing to do with me. That's all on you. I told you, hey, if you want to go out, if you want to go hang out sometimes, we can. You know, if you want to hook up sometimes, we can. But it will never move past this point. So I'm okay with it being right here. But if you're not okay with it being right here, go ahead and disconnect, and I would be cool with it.
So let me ask you this here, Eric. So is sex her value in your life? Is that all she is to you? Would that be all she is to you is sex?
A great time, yeah, a good time, a good time.
So other than that, she has no value. She would have no value in your eyes.
She would have no value to be my girlfriend. She would have no value to be my wife. You know, if she needed me to come over and help her do something, I'll be more than happy to it. Hey, you need your garage door fixed. Okay, I can fix the garage. I'm a handyman. You need your car washed. You know what I mean? I'll wash your car.
Now, is
You
that
know,
confusing? Is that sending mixed signals?
you
Especially
you
once you know she caught feelings. Is that sending mixed signals?
not in my opinion. Now,
Okay.
it may be mixed signals to her, but if I'm constantly telling you, hey, look, it'll never move past this point. If you stuck on the side of the road and I'm somewhere available, I'll come change the flat. You know, things like that. Yeah, yes, I would do that because that's what we're doing. On depending on what the level of the hookup is. Now, if it's just sex with no feelings, no emotions, you can't call me for me to come pick you up. Hey, I'm stuck. My car broke down. Call AAA. I'm not coming. Hey,
Yeah.
my car needs to be washed. Take it through a drive-through because I'm not going to get into that. And with men, there are levels to what we do and who we give our access to.
Yeah. So let me ask you this here, Eric. So you would do an act of kindness and go change her tire or go
Yep.
fix her garage, but you wouldn't do an act of kindness and tell her, hey, we don't need to deal with each other on that level. You wouldn't do that, but you would go fix her tire.
Yeah, I would fix her tire again. You know, it's the access that I'm providing her and the access that she's providing me, intimate. You know, so
John, you must have knew I was coming back on that one. Now look here, Eric. Let's talk about it. Now, listen to what you're saying. You are right. You are absolutely right. It is not her emotions are her responsibility. But access to a woman isn't your entitlement either, my dude. Like that, for you to say if you don't want any responsibility, you don't want to have any responsibility for whatever her emotional experience is, why are you requesting access to something that you know has emotional consequences? How many people are you really saying to me that you is with no feelings whatsoever? No, I'm gonna fix your tie. I'm gonna get you right, and I'm gonna go home. You on one, Eric? I love it.
put
I
your
think I
seatbelt
love
on.
the honesty in that. I think I truly love the honesty in that. But I think even more than that, I question why you would want that type of emotional access to someone, but don't want the consequences of them. That I think is the deeper question.
I don't want we. I'm not looking for the emotional access. I'm looking for the physical connection.
But you
So
know that with the physical connection, emotions are going to come along with it. How many people do you really know have an intimate experience and there's never any feelings? You might could do it once and there's no feelings. But if you keep doing it, that is what an orgasm is, my dude. That is dopamine. That is an oxytocin. That is an emotional reaction. So expecting that you not get anything other than the physical connection out of it is warped to a certain degree. Because to expect that someone will have no feelings whatsoever at all ever, you know this. Do you really think that's realistic?
No, I don't think it's realistic. Is it brutal? Is it unfair? Yes, it's a lot of
Okay.
stuff. It's a lot of stuff. But you know how I'm wired, man. Look, we can have a good time. We
He
can have a
said,
great time.
man, look.
We go in there and do all of this and above.
Girl, you better get this feeling and get to moving. I can hear you now. Look here. You better get this while you can. But I think that I can genuinely respect the fact that you've come to that understanding and you know that about yourself. And because you know that about yourself, I think I respect the fact that you can be so honest. You can be so honest with that. If you've ever heard the song The Recipe, my dude, you the recipe. Yeah. You're the recipe. You that one that this ain't never finna be nothing, and don't get your mind to thinking it's gonna be something positive because it's nothing. And I think when you can stick in it, I have a very good friend that's like that. But what's very interesting about it is that he has involved himself with someone long enough to think that no emotional connection was gonna come to it, and now he's caught feelings. And now you worry because are these feelings mutual? And what do I do if they aren't mutual? And it's a different kind of game. It's a different kind of game when your emotions are the ones that might be being toyed with. It looks different.
Yeah, it's no fun when the
When the
rabbit got the
rabbit got
gun.
the gun,
It
it
ain't no
looks a
fun,
lot
you know.
different.
Long as you got it, hey, cool. Once the other rabbit get it, it be like, you know,
Uh-oh. It
I
looks
done
a lot
caught
different.
feelings. She done put it on me. I can't
Yeah.
get enough. I mean,
Yeah.
it could go both ways.
Yeah. That's solid. That is
Yeah,
true.
yeah, I just, and Eric, I mean, you and I have had conversations about that and everything. And like I said, and I mean, I've known Eric for a long period of time and I know his heart. I know he's extremely honest and sometimes brutally honest. But my question is always the same. Where is the human compassion for the
Yeah.
person? And the act of kindness just because you are a living, breathing person. And I get it. You share with her, hey, this is where I am, but you're going to go change her tire and fix her garage and do all of
Yeah.
these hubby type things, but you won't do a real thing and say, hey, we're not in alignment. I need to cut
To
this
move
off
on.
because
Mm-hmm.
I know you're not going to do it. I know you're
Yeah.
not going to do it. So Eric, does that ever cross your mind to do that?
Well, so I look at it like this. If let's say her garage is messed up. You know, some garage person is going to come over here and charge her this astronomical fee to fix the garage. When I can look at it and tell you what the garage, what's wrong with the garage. The garage just needs some screws. The garage just needs to be oiled. The garage just needs to be realigned. Well, if I can do that, I'm saving you money because Paco gonna come over here and change it, and you're gonna give him a check. You know?
So Eric, is that your way of saying that fair exchange ain't robbery?
Say it one more time.
I said, is that your way of saying fair exchange isn't robbery?
Uh,
I think so let me tell you, John, we definitely have to get together because I have a podcast of my own. It's called Cornbread with a Side of Clarity. And I'm gonna give you a little bit of clarity right quick.
okay.
Just a little bit. I think, because the cornbread gets you full, but the clarity is what make you see.
Okay.
And I think that sometimes what you have to understand and be capable of saying is that clarity isn't always convincing somebody to offer you more. Sometimes clarity is realizing that what they offering ain't enough. I
Okay.
think she's never going to be enough. And I think that if you say it like that, which is bad, and it's probably going to hurt. I'm going to tell you right now, if someone that you've slept with, you've shared your body with, you have shared your time with, if they told you that what you're offering is never going to be enough, that sting enough is going to make them walk away. But you want them to walk away, and I'm going to tell you why you want her to walk away. You want them to walk away because while you may be getting the gratification out of this, karma don't have no menu. You get served what you deserve, player. And that's gonna come back. And I'm talking about, because I think that when you know someone has caught feelings, that's why I say it's so important that for to me, it's important for you to meet a woman that understands you leave your feelings at home because they can't live here. And when you meet somebody who's strong enough to say, "Oh, okay, well, I'm good with that," but when you start to see those slight changes, you need to walk away. You need to, because you know who you are. And even if she doesn't know who she is, you know who you are. And I applaud you, like, for being able to say, I know this ain't what I want. And I'm gonna save you a couple dollars. I'm gonna come over here because Paco and them gonna want to charge you an arm and a leg. I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna fix you up, and we'll have a little fun. That's fair exchange, ain't robbery. And that, yeah, but you robbing her. You robbing her blind. You a thief in the night, player. You a
What?
thief in the night.
Lord have mercy.
See it now. You a thief but you my kind of thief because you honest. You an honest thief. But baby, you robbing them. Baby, you robbing them, Eric. You robbing them. I need to meet the women you date so I can go. Girl, stop it. Don't go back.
No, 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 no,
When
no,
you
no,
said
no, no, no.
don't be that.
Compartmentalized. We keep them separate. Compartmentalized. No.
That is
Shantae, you stay in your
hilarious.
box, John stay in his box, and everybody else stay in their
Yeah.
box.
I think, yeah, but I think you need a boundary, for real, in like safety wise, you need a boundary. And when I say a boundary, like you got to be able to say when you see them. When I say a boundary, you can't be doing those husband things. Like as your good girlfriend, I'm finna tell you, it's your home girl. I'm gonna tell you, stop doing those husband things, because when you're doing those husband things, you won't have to sleep with them, but you are literally making love to their mind. You romanticizing their mind, and she is leaving. I ain't got to call nobody. I can call Eric. Girl, he gonna come by here. He gonna do it. Girl, you know he like you. I know. I'm just waiting on him to change. That's what she telling her girlfriends. And I'm the girlfriend going, he ain't gonna change. You just got good cookies. He just like it over there, and he gonna keep on coming back over there until you dry and brittle. and he done got all the life out you. He is. You taking all the life out of him. And she, knowing you don't want that woman, knowing you don't want that from her. But you
Oh, oh my God. I mean, you have spoken some truth to Eric. You've spoken some truth tonight, because and I was thinking the same thing as you were saying it. It's like, if just don't do anything outside of the bedroom for her, and that keeps it clear. We only here for sex, nothing more than sex. Don't call me if you have a flat tire. Call your daddy, your brother, not me. Just call me when you need some plumbing work done on you, and be done with it.
Man. And women will learn a lot faster by that, because women that don't want to make, now I know some women that want a maintenance man. They be like, okay, yeah, that's cool. But a woman that doesn't want a maintenance man, you're not going to be enough. And slowly but surely, it may be enough for a little while, but after a while, she's going to wean herself away from that, because she's going to realize, but is you doing this husband stuff, you around here taking out her trash and changing tires and shit, and man, you got that lady thinking you gonna live with her. She over there making a spot for you. That's his side of the bed. No, you ain't coming over there. Leave that lady alone. Eric, leave that lady alone. Leave that lady alone. She confused, player. She confused.
What you got to say, Eric? What you got to say?
I like cookies. That's all I gotta say. I like cookies.
Okay, so we have a lot of comments going on here. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let me do this real quick here. So we have she said, my friend from South Africa said, we need to be mindful and considerate. I'm glad I can change tires and all my garbage and out. Yeah, I love that. And then not all the time it doesn't come back. Okay, Mr. Okay. Got okay. And then Pascal said, cause why you care Jose charging her for the garbage? Yes, feel for her. Yeah, you feel for her. Exactly. Yeah, in some kind of way, but he don't feel for her enough to say, no, we're not gonna do that. And then we got a hit and run. That's what Pat said. And dangerous. Dang, Eric, they coming for you, brother. And then Pascal says, but you have some out there will settle for a smash and go. Yeah, I agree with you on that. So, wow, dang, y'all really out here talking tonight. Okay, so somebody said yes, a part two. Yeah. So, okay, so that's really good. I'm gonna leave y'all in here so y'all can come in on this next thing. If anybody else y'all want to come in, just let me know. We can get you in here too. But here we go. So next thing is, let me find one here. Okay. So Kenya, I'm gonna start with you on this one here. How do you handle, well, you might not do this because you said you leave your feelings at home. How do you handle catching feelings in a hookup based dynamic? So Kenya, I think you must have muted yourself over there.
I
Okay, there we
did.
go.
I'm sorry. I said I have been in a hookup based dynamic and I've caught feelings. But I think that one of the biggest things that I did was be able to recognize who I am. And I think that that's what a lot of people don't know. They don't know who they are. And so, again, one of the things that I was big about, once I realized that no one said, it didn't start out with we just hooking up. It just kind of evolved into that. We're having a good time. We enjoy each other. This is my plus one. This is this. And it evolved into this is a hookup. When I realized that my feelings were involved, I stepped back and I said, hey, what have we done to establish feelings? And I was able to recognize we haven't done anything. And I was, oh shit, you a hookup. And when I realized, oh, wait a minute, you're a hookup. And then I had to be honest. I treated that person the same way. So we didn't go into it saying we're going to be hookups. We just we were friends and we evolved into that. But once I realized that, okay, wait a minute, I care about this person. But you want me to tell you something? I am a fiercely loyal Scorpio. I love you so much that I want you to be happy. And I know you ain't going to be that way with me. Let me leave you alone. That's how you help. You got to know who you are. And when you know who you are, you walk away from situations that you know are not going to bring you any good. And I firmly believe that. I firmly believe that I don't want to keep sleeping with you and keep creating an emotional tie that I know has no way of turning into something. We knew we were not aligned. We weren't aligned on the things. We enjoyed hanging out. And you can enjoy hanging out with a person and find out that you have bomb sex with them. But that doesn't mean that that don't mean you can share a checking account. That don't mean you can build a life together. And so that's what I tell people, chemistry versus compatibility. Chemistry is science. That's matter versus matter. That's a response. Compatibility asks different questions. And when I realized that I start catching feelings, and are we compatible? This are we? No. So then I love you enough to say, hey, I love you. We need to stop doing this because we don't want the same things. And because we know we don't want the same things, I'm not going to stop you from finding what it is you desire in someone else because I'm in the way. That's knowing who you are. And I think if a lot of people knew who they were, honestly, which I think Eric knows who he is, but I think that Eric is probably going to meet someone that at some point he's going to go into it with that frame of mind, but they're going to come into it with that same frame of mind. And they're going to realize that they've developed that frame of mind because of some past that made you. And that person's going to love you enough to make you forget it. That's how real relationships start. Somebody love you enough to make you forget the shit that hurt you. That's really what it is. So hookup dynamics to me can start off as friendships. People can go into them honestly saying we just gonna hook up. But I think when you know who you are and you recognize that emotional boundaries and emotional responsibility requires you to step away from stuff. If you love yourself and you say you're going to be good to yourself and you want to be good to others, that's how I am. I feel like I'm good. I want people to be as good to me as I am to everybody else. Because I know that, I need to leave, I'm standing in the way of you finding what it is you truly desire. That's selfish. We wasn't intended to be that way. So that's, know who you are. When you know who you are, that's how you get it. You move on.
Yeah. So, Eric, we're going to ask you that same question, but we don't think you have any feelings, so you might not be able to answer that.
No,
So,
I don't have no feelings. I don't have no feelings. But let me ask you this, Shante. Let me ask you this: when you disconnected from this person, did you
Hmm.
ever go back?
No, we hang out and but we don't sleep together anymore at all,
Okay.
ever.
Okay.
Mm-mm. I
Okay.
don't live on the same block twice. Mm-mm.
Damn it, girl.
Yeah, no. Because I know that. I mean, here's the thing: people can know that they have good sex. You can have. We're grown. Okay, let me tell you how grown I am. We too old to have bad sex. And I'll be quick about that. You too old for that. You know what I'm saying? So you can have good sex with a person, but internally, when you recognize that we do not want the same things and we are not going to get the same things, why would I keep doing that? To me or to you? I'm keeping you from getting what it is you desire, which means I'm also keeping myself from getting what I desire. So I'm not going to do that to myself. No. And so we'll have a cigar now and enjoy each other and laugh and talk and I'm now the wing girl. That one ain't going to do. That one don't want the same thing you want, because we understand that we're not compatible in that capacity. We didn't want the same things. We didn't align like that. Great sex? Yeah, we old. Old people, you've been doing this long enough, you ought to be good at it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think that we put too much emphasis on the sexual relationship with people instead of the emotional connection to people. Um that after a while, I'm honest, after 25 minutes, they all do the same thing anyway. So why it's you should be more build you should be more about building real connections that are going to enhance your whole life, not just that part of your life.
yeah. And I love that part about cornbread and clarity, because when you go into situations with clarity, you're clear. You can identify these things, like why you're feeling the way you're feeling, what's going on in this situation, and you know how to separate or
Separate.
remove yourself from a situation. But you have to have clarity. And
Yep,
most
you
times when we're going in situations, we don't have clarity.
nope, you operate under confusion, and we also operate under the guise of like. We do. If we like somebody, you'll confuse yourself. The vibe is good, the feelings are good, the time we having a good time. You'll confuse yourself. I am big on clarity. And I think when you ask people the questions that you really don't, some people think they want the answer to them. I'm one of those that I really want the answer. And I would prefer it in Eric's, like I said, that's why I say, Eric, we would be so cool because I appreciate your level of honesty. I don't, and that's why my friend and I don't think that he lies to women at all. I think he tells them the truth. I think they lie to themselves. I do. And that's the hard part. And then as soon as they start, I always tell them, I said, they came over to your house with their feelings in their pocket. You should have told them to leave their feelings in the car because they can't live here. And and as ugly as that sounds, I think as an adult woman, when a man tells you your feelings cannot reside here, don't leave them here. We are better suited, most of us are better suited in understanding that and governing ourselves accordingly. But when you play and let me think that my feelings can live there, i.e., coming and fixing my garage, changing my tire, calling you, you've made me believe that my feelings can live there. So then now I keep giving you more and more of them. And what I'm expecting is more and more of you in return. But your idea, Eric, is you just want more and more of the cookies. And ain't nothing wrong with that. But I think if you lead with that and you're honest in that, and you say your feelings can't live here because there's no room. I don't have no room for them. If she still bring her feelings, then you walk away. And girl, I can't fool you, because after a while she's gonna spiral. And then when she spirals, you be like, I don't know what's wrong with her. I told her the truth. But what you did was you kept giving her a level of intimacy that made her believe that you were gonna change. You keep giving her that emotional connection that kept making her think that you were gonna change, and you knew that you weren't. So to me, that's how you change the dynamics of a hookup situation. When you know you can't give them what they desire, you got to be adult enough to walk away and say, this ain't good, because something bad. Think about it for real. How many times have you done that and something bad hasn't happened? That's what the problem is, because it usually turns bad, and we don't start to focus until something bad happened. And you be like, I can't believe they did this shit. Like, but you eventually, it was bound to happen because we kept feeding a monster that we knew was never gonna get enough. So I don't know. I just think that sometimes you have to be bold enough to walk away. Good as it is, somebody got something better. You got to be able to walk away.
Yeah, and I like that whole quote where they say foreplay starts before you even get into the bedroom. And doing all of those garage fixing, tire changing, that's foreplay. That's intimacy. That's making that other person desire you. So when you get to the bedroom, it's good because you've already did all the foreplay. You've already made them want you. And I know Eric says he doesn't want the physical connection or the feelings, but those things are intimacy. Everything that you're doing, all of these extracurricular things outside of the bedroom, that's intimacy to some people. So what you got to say, Eric?
Well, when Paco come over there and fix the garage or change the flat, why they ain't intimacy with him? Why they ain't thinking about that?
Because they paying Paco.
To pay him. Because she has to pay him, baby.
I'm saving you some funds. I just saved you $100.
Well, maybe you don't need to. Yeah, let her pay the $100 to you if that's the case.
Yeah, because you know what else you've done? You really didn't, Eric. This is how I want you to look at it. You really didn't save her, because while she didn't give the money to Paco, she gave it to the therapist. Because now she got to lay on somebody's couch and talk about it. Because she's somewhere walking around attached to a man that is not attached to her. She paid it elsewhere. So you didn't really save her. You didn't save her anything. Or like he said, make her pay you. I don't know. But you can't take it in bedroom coins, okay? Don't take it in bedroom coins. Don't do it. Yeah, don't take them in bedroom coins. That don't work. Girl. You be out there knocking the Mario coins out of them. I know you around there knocking the Mario coins out of them. Man, you're right. I get it.
Oh my goodness. So y'all, this has been like super good. I didn't even get through half of the questions that we had on topics tonight. So this was like amazing. And Charlotte said the best. I'm gonna have you back on, Kenya, and Eric back on. We have to do a part 2 of that. But guys, she is definitely someone that you need to go out and follow. I'll follow her on TikTok. Kenya, are you on other platforms? Where can people follow you?
I am on TikTok mostly. It's under K Shantae. Every day I usually give a motivation. This morning it was playing or preparing. And tomorrow, Eric, you definitely need to watch it. This can't stay, because you can't stay. But I'm on TikTok. Again, trying to build a podcast of my own, Cornbread with a Side of Clarity. But I just a female that's been through a lot, writer. And just learn that love don't love nobody. So just want to have a good conversation, and especially be able to make people understand that the value is in the conversations that you have. So K Shantae on TikTok.
And Kenya, are you here in Dallas?
I am here in DFW.
So yeah, we're gonna connect for lunch. We're gonna connect for lunch for sure. Yeah, we're gonna, because we have to do something like
love it
before the year ends, our collab, and do some stuff, because this is amazing. And we've been talking about it. We just haven't, made it happen yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the funny thing about it, because when I saw you you come in, and when I posted out on TikTok about the podcast tonight, you liked it. And I said, okay, let me send her a message, tell her, make sure she's in there, because we have been talking about doing it. But that's something that we definitely going to do. But guys, go out, follow her on TikTok, K Shantae. You see her name on the screen. And let's see, Eric, where can they find you to come fight you?
What? No, they don't want to fight me. White Towel Luxury. It's White Towel Luxury on Instagram. That's the only platform I'm on. I have a luxury car detailing business, and then I just started a Christian apparel clothing line. So I'm really starting to push that. So I got a couple of things going, but if you guys ever need your cars clean, give me a call. Visit me on Instagram, White Towel Luxury, and I'll be more than happy to come out there and take care of it.
Yeah, and guys, Eric does amazing work. He does amazing work. And the thing I love about him, wherever you are, when you set that appointment, he comes to where you are. He's cleaned my car several times. I've been at the gym, and he comes and clean. He's there when I get there, and by the time I get ready to leave, my car is ready to go, and he does an exceptional job. So again, his info on Instagram is White Towel Luxury. And what I'll do is I'll definitely tag him and Shantae in on my post when I post these different things, so you guys can go out and follow them, because these are two people you want to follow. But I'm definitely going to get you back on here, Kenya. Eric, I'm going to have to get you back. Now that I see Kenya can tame you, I'm going to have both of y'all on here, because every time you're on here, I just shake my head. So you already know. But we're going to get Kenya back on here, because I ain't never seen nobody that can make you be quiet.
I love it. I followed you, Eric, and I will definitely reach out to get my car detailed. It's great information. Love hanging out, and love a good conversation. So
and
wonderful.
Hey, Dom, when you guys go to lunch, let me know, and I'll hang out with y'all.
Oh, we love that. And Eric, also when Shantae call you for a detail, we need you to give her the Jose discount.
Okay, I got you.
Okay,
don't worry. I'll pay for mine. I'll pay for it.
I like them cookies. I like them cookies.
I'm good. We're good.
So everybody, next week is the final episode of the season. Courtney Johnson, she's an upcoming author. She's going to be releasing two new books in 2027. So I'm really excited to have her on, because she has an extraordinary journey. She's a single mother and an educator, and she's doing her thing. So I'm really excited to have her on. And then we're going to break for a little bit, but before the year is over, you guys hearing me say this out loud, and I'm a man of my word, Kenya and we're going to collab on something. I don't know. She's here in Dallas, whether it's a live podcast or something where we're together, but we're going to definitely collab before the year is out. So guys, go out and follow her. Don't forget to click on like, so that this podcast can be shared with others just like yourself. And then when you see me post on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, make sure you go out and like it, and then follow them as well, and share this podcast with others just like you. But we're going to have a part 2. We have to schedule that, but we'll definitely do a part 2. All right, then, guys, have a great night. Peace.
Real life stories and transparent conversations, hustle and grind, love and relationships, with all the tools for living your best life. It's the Dope Ass Dude Podcast. The Dope Ass Dude Podcast.